Kimberly, Allison from Starliner Music. Welcome to my channel. Today, in my Fingerboard Geometry series, we'll be covering multiple octave first inversion arpeggios within the major scale. First, we'll look at some fingerings and examples, and then we'll do some exercises. Here we go. I hope you enjoy it. Today we'll be covering multiple octave arpeggios in first inversion. If you don't know what first inversion means, or if you don't know what a multiple octave arpeggio is, you need to go back and look at my previous videos. Let's go ahead and revisit some fingerings. First of all, a first inversion arpeggio means that the third of the chord is the lowest sounding note. I'm going to start off by finding my root E. Here's my root E. That means that my major third is G sharp. That would be located here. And my fifth is here, B. So the arpeggio looks like this. Major third, G sharp, fifth B, root E. And I will play that in 3 octaves from each of the G sharps because G sharp is our lowest note. Let's trace out the G sharps. So here it is in multiple octaves. All right, now we're going to do first inversion minor 3 octave arpeggios. We'll be starting from the minor third. Again, I'm going to be using the root E. So here's the root E. The low minor third is G. So each of our arpeggios will be played from G. The E minor arpeggio is G as the minor third, B as the perfect fifth, and E is the root. So we'll be playing that shape from each of the G's. Let's trace out the G's. Here it is in 3 octaves. Here's the multi-octave diminished arpeggio in first inversion. So what I did there was I played an E diminished arpeggio starting on the low minor third, and that would be the note G. Then I have the diminished fifth, that's B flat, and then I have the root E. So from each G, we're going to play that shape. Here are the G's. And here it is slow. Now let's look at some 2 octave arpeggio fingerings. Our root will be A this time, so A is located here. In first inversion, we have the lowest note as the third, so for A major, that will be C sharp. Our fifth is E, and again, the root is A. And I can repeat that fingering from the next C sharp, E, but I have to tuning adjust to get back to the root A. Let's put that together. Now let's try A minor. For A minor, all I have to do is lower the third by 1 fret. So now I will start on C natural. C natural is the minor third, E is the fifth, A is the root. And I repeat from the next C natural, minor third, fifth, and my root is tuning adjusted. Here it is together. Now let's repeat that for diminished. So for our diminished arpeggio, we'll still start with the C natural, but we'll lower our fifth from E to E flat. Here's the fingering. C natural, diminished fifth is E flat, root is A. And we repeat that from the next C, C, E flat, tuning adjusted, root A. Let's put that together. In this next example, I'll be performing a 3-octave harmonized D scale in first inversion. Let's go ahead and look at the chords that we'll be using in the bottom octave. We'll be starting on the 1 chord, D major. 2 chord is E minor. 3 chord is F sharp minor. 4 chord is G. 5 chord is A. The 6th chord is B minor. And the 7th chord is C sharp diminished. Let's hear that in 3 octaves. In this next example, we'll be looking at a 2-octave harmonized G scale in first inversion. Let's go ahead and trace out the lower octave of chords. Here's G, the 1 chord in first inversion. Now A minor, the 2 chord. B minor is the 3 chord. C is the 4 chord. D is the 5 chord. E minor is the 6 chord. And F sharp diminished is the 7 chord. Let's get a look at this in 2 octaves. And now for our exercises. Our first exercise will be playing the A harmonized scale in 3 octaves in first inversion. We're going to be starting this example on the 4 chord. So let's go ahead and trace out the chords we'll be using for the 3-octave exercise in A. Starting on the 4 chord, D, here's the lower octave. So that's my D chord in first inversion. Now I'm onto my 5 chord E. 6 chord is F sharp minor. 7 chord is G sharp diminished. 1 chord is A. 2 chord B minor. And the 3 chord is C sharp minor. Let's get a look at this in 3 octaves. In our second exercise, we'll be performing the key of D, harmonized in first inversion. We'll be using 2 octaves here. Let's go ahead and trace out the lower octave, starting on the 4-chord G. So that's G in first inversion, that's our 4, then our 5A. 6 is B minor. 7 is C sharp diminished. 1 is D. 2 is E minor. 3 is F sharp minor. Let's get a look at that in 2 octaves. Please don't forget about the tuning adjustment in the upper octave. That's it for multiple octave first inversion arpeggios within the major scale. I'm Kimberly Allison from Starliner Music, and I hope to see you back on my channel soon.